What's up, everybody? This is Josh coming to you with another episode of the Affiliate Marketing Show. Please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest affiliate marketing tips, news, and trends. Once again, Josh from OfferVault.com, the industry's largest aggregator of all things affiliate marketing. You need to know about OfferVault. Most of you already do. If you don't, get hip to it. We're here to help you out and succeed in this industry. I believe it's just me rocking the hosting today, but I'm not by myself. That is for sure. We have a very special new friend of the pod, Clair Sidman, Vice President of Marketing at Collective Voice, a creator monetization platform built to help modern creators earn on their terms. What's up, Clair? How we doing?
Doing great. Super pumped to be here.
I know you told me from the Midwest, you're in LA. I want to hear all about your journey. I want to hear about Collective Voice, but something I want to hear about real quick, which will kind of segue us to that part of your current situation. I saw you used to work with TikTok. You used to work with L'Oreal, some obvious, big names. I'm just curious, what were those experiences like? And then I guess, in the short version of how you kind of got to Collective Voice, and then we can kind of dive into what Collective Voice actually does.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to start back with the Midwest because we got that Midwest connection, but grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and that was really pivotal for me in terms of where I am today. And the reason was back in the 80s, yes, the 80s, they had a program called Take Your Daughter to Work Day. It's now called Take Your Child to Work Day, but in the 80s, it was launched to get women into business. And my father worked at Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I went, and it was the most unbelievable day of my life. I still have the folder from that day that I went in.
You don't look like you're old enough to be born in the 80s, dude. You look,
100%.
I'm a 90s kid. You look like younger than me, honestly.
Thank you. That's all that L'Oreal time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You probably got a lot of good stuff. Okay, cool.
Start your skincare early for anyone that's listening. But it was, it worked. It piqued my interest in business, how consumer products were made. That's where I started my career, was in consumer products. But, on the tour, you got to go to learn about procurement and barley and hops and, how they make beer. And then you got to go to advertising and see how TV spots are made. You got to go to packaging and look at limited edition Shamrock labels for St. Patrick's Days and some of the marketing. And the beer and liquor industry is like a marketing machine, and it piqued my interest a lot. And that's why I still have that folder. But from there, it really got me into thinking about what a career in marketing could be. I went to school on the East Coast, so left the Midwest and went to school out East, and I went to Bentley University. And that's really where, I was like, I think I want to do marketing, but I'm not sure. And I can still graduate in 4 years if I change my major here without having to college is expensive.
That's
Turned out I
funny.
love marketing. But yeah, tell
I
me.
was just going to jump in here. I had a similar experience. I went to school, similar but different. I went to school pre-med thinking I was going to be a vet with a V, a vet, or like a marine biologist. I don't know, but found out pretty quick that those weed out classes are real, and I was like, I don't have no idea what I want to do. And then I knew I possibly wanted to pursue music, which I did for a bit, and marketing just kind of made sense. I was like, I don't know what I want to do, but I feel like I can apply this to whatever direction in life I go in. You always need to know how to market yourself. And that's kind of how I landed on it.
That's incredible backstory. Yeah, it's like that journey of self-discovery. I feel like I'm the rare case of I actually ended up doing for a career what I thought I wanted to do, which is not normal. I think your journey is definitely probably the favored path by experience is
Veterinarian to musician to internet marketer. Yeah. Super normal. Yeah, definitely.
well, it's that, exploration, right? And following your passions and figuring out what those are. And that's what allows you to be the best at what you're doing now, right? Because you finally aligned those passions and values. For me, that's been a driver of where I've gone in my career. So how do you go from brand side to agency to platform to brand to creator to venture capital? Like those are all in my portfolio. And it's really untraditional. Most people go like narrow and deep, right? And I kind of took your approach in that. But what I found is when you analyze industry, I always look at it through the lens of like four key C's, the four C's. It's what's happening with the consumer, what's happening in the category, what's happening with culture, and what's happening with consumption, meaning where is attention shifting? And that's been my North Star in terms of like how I ended up at all of these different places and spaces and in different roles and in leading different teams. I kind of take that lens. So when I was at L'Oreal, I consider myself a marketing futurist. I am a crafted storyteller as well as, kind of believe in the Japanese art of kintsugi, which is my guiding leadership principle. Do you know about that?
I don't, but I'm super down. I'm really big into Buddhism and just Japanese wisdom and any sort of Asian wisdom. I'd love to hear about that.
So it's the idea. Have you ever seen the ceramics where it's fused? It's like broken ceramics and they're fused back together with gold.
Yeah, I actually have heard about this. I think it's mentioned in like a book I've read at some point. Yeah, it sounds familiar though. Yeah.
You apply that within the marketing lens, right? It's, being able to take bold action and not being afraid of something breaking, right? Because I know that I can build it back more beautiful
Yeah, I read a
and
book. I read a
stronger.
book that talked all about this. It was called Spirituality in Imperfection, I think it was.
100%.
But
Let's
it
definitely
sounds it sounds very
find that and drop that in for the
The
listeners.
Spirituality of Imperfection by Ernest Kurtz and Catherine Ketchum. Yeah, I don't know. I believe that's where I heard about what you're talking about. But yeah, the principle, 100%, I get behind.
Yeah. So, when you see industry shifts, right, and through the lens of the four C's, when I was at L'Oreal, I was brought in to be a subject market expert on digital and social, and I went to go work for Kiehl's since 1851, a brand that had been around for 150 years and had never advertised, right? Like really, really interesting. And the president at the time, Chris Salgado, amazing man, amazing leader. He kind of said to the rest of his L'Oreal leadership, I'm not going to advertise the way you want me to advertise. I'm going to go find someone who's going to help me build this business in a community-based way, which back in 2015, at this point, like that, we talk about community-based growth and consumer engagement in that community nurturing format now as the norm. But in 2015, that was first mover. Um, and that's what I came into Kiehl's to do is to, not run, L'Oreal wanted him to run TVCs like L'Oreal Paris and Maybelline and, Lancome. And he was like, that's not the way. That's not my consumer base. And so I'm going to go an untraditional path. And he gave me license and support to come in and help revolutionize that brand and do it in a way that really paid off. They're still a leading luxury skincare brand and have been, for now, I think almost like 180 years, which is incredible. Um, so I think that's, kind of where I was at L'Oreal. And with that, the L'Oreal leadership, I will say nothing but amazing things about. They invest in innovation, they invest in people and big ideas. And with that, they gave me a tremendous amount of leeway to bring those big ideas to them. That's how, when I was working on the NYX professional makeup brand in 2018, 2019, TikTok was brand new. People didn't know about it. It was pre-pandemic. We were one of the first advertisers and brands on TikTok in 2019. So from that standpoint, they were like, okay, go figure this out. How do we do it? Build us a playbook, and then let's leverage that for all of our portfolios within L'Oreal USA. That to me, in terms of breaking new territories, once again, following where consumer attention was going, looking at doing things authentically and stretching the ideals of how a brand goes to market in a really unique and differentiated way. And that's ultimately what ended up bringing me in-house at TikTok. And then from there, running the industry strategy team over 18 different verticals was unbelievable for me. Really being a CPG gal through and through for my entire career, that was unbelievable to bring to be able to go really wide across auto, entertainment, gaming, fashion, beauty, QSR. I think that was my favorite industries, because they want to take big swings. They want to be culturally relevant. They're not afraid to take chances as an industry, and it moves so fast. But I got so much of a different purview from that seat that when I looked at leaving TikTok, it was what is next? And once again, going back to where is attention going? Where's the category going? How is culture playing a role? It's really about the creator economy. And when you look at one of the biggest shifts within the creator economy, it was without a doubt affiliate. You look at closed loop commerce, social commerce, that is what we talk about day in and day out as the norm now within marketing versus 5, 10 years ago when, we were talking a lot about, how can we drive organic engagement as an end all be all, and then what is the ROAS on ads? Now it's about those things are together, and everybody knows that you need both the creator to drive that much more so than the brand. So the power and the position of that influence has dramatically shifted, where the brands are no longer in control, and rather the creator is at the center of that influence, right? In terms of being able to drive effective ROAS and brand growth and market share. So that's what brought me to Collective Voice. It was a really natural transition. And that's
I
just
was
kind
gonna
of,
say everything kind of just like lined up really
yeah, well,
smooth.
I think that's where my applied foresight comes in. Once again, just always looking at the industry, looking at where marketing dollars are going, where consumer attention is going, and those cultural and categorical shifts. Um, that's what I use to analyze, like, where should I go next? What
I was
is
about to say, what's next? You seem to like really have your thumb on the pulse per se.
Well, I think, why I'm so pumped to talk to you is because I feel like affiliate is finally getting the main stage here in 2025, because it's modernized so much with creator as that backbone versus how affiliate started, right? For all of the traditional, brands and publishers, like I remember owning those media budgets and it was like, okay, here's my affiliate dollars. I know what they're going to deliver. And it was just kind of like a plug and play, right? It wasn't really unique. There wasn't differentiation. We're now in a world where there is so much offering and ability to kind of take the best of performance marketing with the best of brand marketing and mash them together. And the brands that are leaning into affiliate are the ones that are gaining share. It does take a different operating model from inside of the brand. I'll say that. I think that's where there's still a lot of evolution to come, and how brands are organizing themselves for this. um, Affiliate and creator in many ways is kind of like a three-headed dragon for a brand. Look at you have to look at your merchandising. So you need a skill set for that, right? In terms of your product assortment, your bundles, how is it integrating back into your D2Cs or wherever your destination digital self is? You have to look at your commissions, right? You have to look at creator selection. You have to look at briefing, brand, product innovation, all through that lens of the creator. And that's where I think the smartest brands are realigning their marketing teams to have those skills and competencies at the forefront. But that's what's next. And that's why I'm so, excited to be here and, just spend some time really deep diving on creator affiliate and the shifts that we're seeing in that industry. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I'm about to jump in. You got me. You got me. I want to know a little bit about Collective Voice and like actually what you guys do, what you guys offer. We kind of talked about helping creators monetize on their terms I mentioned in the intro. I know another thing that's really important to you in the company is, building inclusive monetization, I believe it was, where you're offering a lot of free tools and resources on top of everything else that you're doing. And then actually, let's just start there.
Yeah, I think access to tools and services should not be gate kept, like full stop, period. Um, Creators are small businesses. And so when we think about that, and even back to your personal story, right? You're like, marketing's going to, you know, serve me in whatever I end up doing. You have to think about a creator. They are the CFO, the CMO, the CEO, as well as the creative team.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's a lot of work,
it's a
always on.
ton of work. So, at Collective Voice, it's really important for us to help make creators' lives easier and make it easier for them to earn money. Like, that is why we don't gatekeep our tools. Creators that just join have access to the same suite of tools and offerings and opportunities as a creator that's been on the network for 5, 10 years. Um, that is really, really important in terms of that inclusivity. We have 140,000 creators on our network and over 22,000 brands. So when we say that there is something for everyone, there truly is. And that's where we focus as a platform on using AI to help serve the best opportunities based on creators' content. Also, because, for example, as a creator, you could be really into, beauty one day, and then, you could decide you want to go more into health and wellness. That is a parallel we see happen all the time. We want our products and brands and partnerships to be able to move with you dynamically so that you're being served, the best opportunities based on what you're into and what you're creating and what you're passionate about as a creator, which makes obviously the most effective performance in helping us pair you with the right brands. Um, we have two sides of our business. We have a white glove service agency model for all flat fee partnerships, as well as the creator self-service platform on the network, where creators can go in, choose the brands that they want to link with, kind of curate their own virtual storefronts within their social profiles. We call that tap to shop. We
So is
have
that like the way it's done now? I'm like kind of very unfamiliar with that. Like, is it the creators kind of go to a marketplace to find the brands they want to work with? Because I always thought it was like a more direct, like brand reaches out to you because you have a following and they want your help, or vice versa, right?
it's
How
an
like is the network side of it, the marketplace kind of the new norm now?
it's an and.
Yeah.
It's really, you have to have both, because as creators, what we see, and we actually just did some really interesting generational research recently to understand the difference between Gen Zs and millennials within affiliate. And universally, we found 92% of all creators that we surveyed do consider being a creator a full-time job. So I
Oh
think that's
yeah.
like one
100%,
thing to
right?
start with, right? And so when they're thinking about growing their career, which is what we talked about, like career growth here and how do you get from A to B, the natural journey is to start off kind of on the network side of, okay, as a creator, I'm super passionate, let's say about like Aritzia, right? Aritzia is one of the clients that we have on our network. And so from that standpoint, if I really love Aritzia clothes and I'm a creator, I'm going to start organically linking with Aritzia through the network to kind of build up my portfolio of performance and conversion to help me get discovered to get on their radar. And that's then where their agency side comes in to say like, oh, okay, we noticed that you had really strong performance against Aritzia. We're going to put you in front of them. Like, let's help you now start to diversify your income from just your kind of what we'll call organic affiliate linking to also adding flat fee campaigns. It's an and it's not just from the creator side, from the brand side. I think, the organic linking side, and that's where the commissions, are also paid out. That is super important for brands to be able to be looking at how are they scaling that through gifting. We have a new gifting offering where you can gift creators products within the platform, all automated. And from that standpoint, bridging that, it's another touch point on that journey for creators to that flat fee campaign. It's another data point for brands of building that brand creator trust. Like, oh, I see you and you see me. And like, okay, let's have a conversation. We're going to move from like, hi, nice to know you to, okay, let's start dating. And then, maybe we'll get married and have some long-term contracts and do always on together. Um, but we really want to cultivate those partnerships. And so we build tools on both sides. And I would say that's the norm from both the brand side and the creator side as to how you need to be looking at investing in your marketing mix. Um, and the smartest brands, I think, and publishers are moving in that direction.
I'm sure you have no issues working with millennials because we're just the chillest and the best. But what are some of the issues you have working with Gen Zs? Because I'm sure there's a lot. And no, I'm just kidding. I don't want you to talk trash about your customers per se.
No, I love all generations. I will say that. Obviously, as a millennial, I understand I identify very much with probably a lot of the millennial woes. But I'm fascinated by Gen Z creators because I have to be honest, I respect them so much. They are entering in with so much intention into affiliate. Whereas millennials, what we found from our research is like they kind of had to learn along the way because this like two-sided marketplace that we're talking about like wasn't really laid out. There wasn't the buzz around like, oh, you can earn through organic affiliate linking. You have to remember as affiliate was coming on, the creator piece, it was there before creator. So creator kind of had to learn how to be in affiliate. And I think the biggest shift now is that affiliate marketing is being designed with the creator at the center, right? In terms of how they're going to partner with them to drive that brand growth. So millennials had to learn as they went, and platforms were quickly creating tools and products to help them, but it was kind of learn as you go. With Gen Z, they're coming in with such clear intention where they're like, I see the roadmap. I know the playbook. I know that it's about the organic linking at the beginning. So I'm not even going to consider the flat fee partnerships. Like those are great to have, but I'm not going to bifurcate my attention. And I think that is so smart of them because they know that they have untapped endless earning potential from just the network side, right? The power of their own audience. They understand the power of that audience. They've grown audiences faster, which allows them to monetize faster and be in more control of their business.
That's what I was
Um,
going to ask is like, is most of the earning potential a flat fee up front or like a rev share, or do you find it's a combination of both, or is that pretty rare?
I would say when you're first getting started, it's definitely it's going to be the commissionable revenue out of the gate that organic linking is going to fuel. But once again, that's where the creator is 100% in control, right? And that's where the Gen Zers see that potential. Like 83% of Gen Z are already aware of affiliate marketing. Gen Z creators, I should say, not Gen Z consumers, but Gen Z creators. And if I just switch that over to the consumer side, what we're also seeing is that Gen Z consumers trust affiliate marketing as one of the top sources, right? In terms of what's driving that purchase intent. So you're seeing that the journey happening both from the creator and the consumer side, that it's a huge opportunity for brands. But that I think is where this generation is really tapping into the tools. The platforms like ours have really been building with creator first in mind. And then they're hopping in and they don't need guidance, right? They walk into the product, they're like, I know what to do here. The product is leading them through that journey. They're like, okay, I know what's next. I'm going to start here. I'm going to focus on really the engagement of my audience and growing my audience while maintaining that engagement because they know that that engagement piece is key to conversion, which is key to getting the flat fee.
So going back to the inclusion approach we kind of talked about, when you're asking creators, what they truly need from you and collective voice, what's like the most common answer you get from them?
I need tools that are going to give me time back. We talked about how creators as small businesses, they have so many hats to wear. And how can we save them time and increase their earnings? That's one of the things that we focus on a lot in terms of our tool and feature innovation calendar and product development cycle. One of the latest tools that we have for that is called Shop the Look. It's an Instagram DM feature. So have you ever been on Instagram and someone says, comment. I just actually did it this morning. So there was a home creator and she said, comment me in the comments and I'll send you the links for everything that's in this video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, absolutely. And it was this sideboard that I wanted for the front of my front entryway. I'm sick of the one that I have. I saw it. It was from Target. 2 clicks. I purchased. Done and done. That shop the look feature enables that automatic DM to be sent to me with the links. So I don't have to wait as a consumer, right? So it's speeding up the purchase life cycle from a brand side, and from the creator side, they're making money without having to answer hundreds of thousands of DMs, right? They don't have to send individual links. That type of automation is so critical to helping them grow so that they can put time back into what they do best, which is create content, build their audience, be creative, and not have to spend as much time in what we would call like the low value work that now we have automation and AI coming in to help with. Within the Shop the Look tool, we have some new feature releases coming out that I'm really excited about, which is like you can customize that trigger word. We've had that for a while, but now what you're going to be able to do is set up like 5 different smart replies. So you can set up like 5 sequential messages that are all differentiated, that are in your own tone and voice. Because once again, it has to be authentic. Don't just build me something that I can't customize and personalize as a creator, because as a creator, your brand is everything, right? That's what you have to hold on to. So it's that customization, personalization, automation that's working 24/7, 365 for them to give them more time back to focus on their business, their content. And that's what they really need. I would say the other thing that we hear a lot is, that life cycle growth. Like, build me things that are going to help me grow towards those flat fee partnerships. I think that's where gifting comes in, right? Being able to get creators discovered by brands earlier in their life cycle. And what is the step between that organic linking and, and a flat fee campaign is that real product interaction, having a touch point with the brand directly. That's what we hear a lot from is, we love your agency, we love the white glove service, but like, how can I also sometimes be in touch with the brand directly? And so that's what we've also built. And so it's some of those tools where we really listen to the creators and telling me like, what do you need? And then let's build you solutions.
So what does the partnership between Collective Voice and the creators look like in terms of like how Collective Voice is compensated? Is it a flat fee from the creator, or are you guys kind of tied into the performance of the creator with the brand?
We're tied into the performance of the creator with the brand, which is the
Okay.
same if you look at like a TikTok shop
No,
or
I mean, I think that's the best way to do it, right? It's like I'm not making money unless you're making money kind of thing.
100%.
Yeah. So going back to kind of what you were just talking about with, getting in touch with consumers effectively, what are some other principles or approaches you guys take at Collective Voice to make sure that, creators are reaching consumers effectively? Like, what are your thoughts on, basically finding consistent and credible sources and people instead of just like big names? How much does like trust play a part in it, or anything else that I'm not thinking of?
Yeah, I love that you hit on 2 key words, which is consistency, credibility, and actually 3, and trust. I would say one of the biggest shifts that we're seeing within affiliate creator and within creator in general is trust is greater than reach, right? Being able for a creator to have that trust with their audience, that's where you get the engagement and that's where you're going to see the conversion versus just a big number. We
Does that
also,
just come with time, the trust aspect of it?
it
Like,
does.
what do you, yeah, like what do you attribute an audience trusting to a creator
Some
to?
of
Like,
the time, because often when a creator gets started, they kind of like honing their voice, honing their niche, but um, so I think that's probably the time aspect. You're spot on there. But the other piece is the consistency. And that's on the creator side. Like, am I consistently delivering on the shared value that I have, shared values that I have with my audience. Like, how responsive am I to what my audience wants? And is that aligned with where my passions lie, right? It has to be about the creator as a brand and as a person to be able to build trust. Because, for example, like we're sitting here and it's like, why do people trust you? Right? You think back and you're like, okay, well, here's all the things that I've done to build trust as a host, right? As an authority on affiliate in this industry. I'm knowledgeable, I data backed, I talk to a multitude of people with really diverse thoughts and points of view with different research and kind of culminate the insights from there. In that same business game, you have to think about that mentality from the creator, right? Like, what am I super passionate about? It's not going to be just, oh, it's fashion. It's not a category. I am really into conscious living, right? So conscious living is a value for me that my audience is going to pick up on. I might bring that to life through fashion and the brands that I choose to highlight, the products that I choose to highlight, all within that through line. But it's not going to be, I am a fashion creator. I'm going to say, as my personal brand, I'm into conscious consumption. And that, coming back to that through line and having your principles and values as a creator is core. And then how do you demonstrate that consistently to your audience?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, when you're talking with creators, what's your advice in terms of how they should approach putting out content and doing partnerships, right? Because nobody wants to just be sold all the time. So when you're a creator, I feel like it's kind of risky business if you're just like, this skin cream is amazing. And then you're like, check out this new desktop lamp. I can't live without it, right? They don't like, nobody wants that every single time content's going out. So do you have any advice in terms of like an appropriate balance or a certain cadence or how many, like every other certain amount of non-product related videos or partnerships should go out before you do another one?
That is such a good question. I need to make a quick plug because we just did two spotlights on this. We have a broadcast channel for everyone that's on our network. Anyone that's not on our network can join too. And we do a ton of education through a creator in residence program, which we can talk about in a second. But we just did that exact example. And we asked creators on our network at two different life stages. One that was just getting started and one that's like more established, one Gen Z and one millennial. And we said, how do you approach this? Right? Like, how do you show up not salesy in how you're building your online, but still be able to convert? Right. And once again, we heard this from our creator community, the exact question you're asking, like, how do I do it? And
And how do I do it naturally, you know?
yeah, it has to be
Right.
authentic, right? And that's where it's like you don't want to show up product pushing. And I think it comes back what both of the creators, that we talked to said was that it really is about that through line that I just talked about. So like if the desk lamp and the bedding and the shoes that I think those were the examples you used, but
The
like
face cream, come on.
face cream.
I was
Oh,
taking it back to L'Oreal. Let's go.
face cream, the face cream and the desk lamp,
Desk lamp was a bad example. I could have did better.
great
But yeah, go
example.
ahead.
It's a
Yeah.
great example because you're like, what's the through line? So if I just take the example, if I'm still the creator that is really focused on conscious consumption, I am going to be highlighting products that come back to that passion and that value of mine, which is conscious consumption. It could be conscious consumption on a budget. It could be conscious, like luxury finds that are also aligned with conscious consumption. Um, that is how you show up not salesy. It has to come back to your core values as a creator, which builds that trust. And so you have to be selective. And what we often tell creators is like, if it doesn't feel right and it's not aligned with your values, don't say yes. It's okay to say no to a brand. Just because you say no for one thing, maybe that's a door opener to say, like, I don't think I'm a great fit for this product, but like, I really love your other line. Is there an opportunity there? Because this is why I'm passionate about this line and why I think it really aligns with my personal brand and my followers. We coach creators a lot on understanding that connection and being able to market themselves, whether it be in like a pitch deck, of saying like, this is who I am. They are a brand. You need a brand pitch, right? This is how I present myself. This is what my audience cares about. This is what I believe is the best performing content for a partnership like this. Also on the flip side, the best brands that are walking into creator partnerships right now are doing that same homework. They're not taking, if I see another brief come from a brand that has to a creator that has different creators swipe in there, they've missed the mark out of the gate. Like the creator already is like, okay, but that's not me. What do you like from my brand? What is the alignment between your brand and my brand? And show me what you like from my brand. It could be something around humor, right? And I really like how you do this, like, there's like, voiceovers where you're using like a little kid or someone personifies like their child or, their dog. The pet personifications I always think are hysterical, right? But like using humor in that standpoint. So if even, let's say I'm a skincare brand, we come and say like, I love this style. What would you do for this new face cream that I'm launching? So it's telling them like, I love how you used humor here. And what does that look like for my brand? And inviting the creator in the kitchen to be able to co-create with them versus one giving them swipe and examples from other creators. That's not
Yeah.
that. And
Do you
then
find brands when they reach out to creators, do they say like skincare brand reaches out to creator, do they say like, oh, by the way, you can't have had a partnership with any other skincare brand in the past 12 months, like from like a competitive angle? Like, do you ever find that kind of thing come up?
not really anymore. And I'll tell you why. It's also if you come back to that category in the consumer of the two C's, specifically within the beauty industry, a consumer is not buying the full range of a single brand's skincare routine. They're
Hmm.
not. Like that hasn't been the case since the early 2010s because they're mixing and matching. Oh, I really like this face cream. I like this serum. I use this eye cream. They're all from different brands, right? So it's all about that product. So why would you expect that same loyalty from a creator standpoint? The creator is also a consumer and it's like, well, if I don't like that part of like if I don't like the efficacy of your eye cream or it doesn't show up well in my skin tone, why would I be locked in with you when there are things that, I don't love? I think from there has to be fluidity. And I think that otherwise you're compromising the trust
Yeah,
and
you
you're,
talk. Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry. You want me to go? I was saying you should finish. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, you're compromising that trust then, right? If
Yeah.
like, and also you want to, you would have to pay to take a creator off the market, which no brand would probably want to afford to do.
I was gonna say you mentioned bringing creators like into the kitchen, get their take and their like flavor on it and what they would do with it. What's the opposite? Like, what are the typical results when it comes to content when you see a brand kind of over direct a creator? Like, what are the negatives that you find come out of that?
Always, always, always lower engagement and lower ROAS. Like it's like,
Is it
you
like a
know,
stay in your lane kind of mentality? Like,
it's
tell the brand to stay in your lane, let me be the creator.
it comes back to control, right? And a lot of what I coach brands on is to let go of that control, to let the creator take hold of your brand and interpret it through their lens. With that, it's sometimes really hard for brand marketers to do. They were in the driver's seat, top down messaging. The the products and the brand does what I say it's going to do, right? My brand marketing is what is setting the tone. And then creators came and they were like reviewing products on videos and they're like, I really like it because of this. And the brand was like, that's not in our talking points, but that's what the creator liked. And so there's room for both. And I think that's why it's so important to have it in the media mix and why it's such an increasing share of media mix, also for brands that really get it, especially in a tight economic climate like we have right now, where you need to see ROAS, right? Like every brand marketer is walking into their CFO's office and the CFO is like, what is my return? If I give you $1, are you making me two? With that, the biggest inhibitor to that is too much brand oversight. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if you want a creator to be a mouthpiece for your brand message, that will not be viewed as authentic. Consumers see right through it. And a creator typically also isn't going to want to work on that because it ruins their credibility and trust with their audience. Back to that then comes off as the product pushing. Like if all of a sudden a creator, let's just keep going with beauty as the example, is talking about glycolic acid and AHAs, and they're talking about these and the skin barrier. And if these are things the creator has never said before, if they are not an ingredient skincare girl or guy, like that's going to seem foreign. That is inauthentic. But if they truly are always talking about active ingredients, then yeah, let's dig in. It's like such a fine line in the difference, but that's where I really encourage brands and creators to get in the kitchen together. Like brands come with a loose brief. Here's a new product. Here's what we have from a brand messaging standpoint. I want to send you the product. Tell me what you think. What do you love? What do you like? What stood out to you? And then from your content, like what are some creative ideas on how you want to bring this to life? Like let them be in the driver's seat and do it alongside you. And that wins trust and confidence from a brand partnership standpoint as well.
So you mentioned earlier the creator in residence program, but we didn't really get to dive into that too much. Can you kind of walk me through what that is and what kind of came out of it on the front of like boosting creator retention?
Yeah. So it's actually such a perfect segue to what we were just talking about. So I
I
talk about
mean,
how
dude,
brands,
I
I know.
am the host of the affiliate marketing show. Come on. Give me some credit here.
Oh no, you're the best. Brilliantly leading. So I'm sitting here preaching, right, about how like brands and should partner with creators. And for my role when I came in, I have to say, like, we weren't doing a good job, right? When I came into this role of actually engaging with creators in the right way. And that was really evident. And I was like, we have to walk the walk. We have to be best in class. We need to show, not tell brands and creators what this looks like. That combined with the need when we talked about the creator life cycle, there's a lot of education that creators need as they're getting going, right? Like all of the questions that we talked about here, it's great. They're listening to your pod, they're in the tools, they're figuring it out. But like also sometimes they just need like an expert opinion and they need someone to call that's been in those shoes. So that's really where the creator in residence program came from, is the need to, as a brand, I was like, really lay the model for the industry and the creator economy of what does good collaboration look like? What does partnership, A plus partnership look like between a brand and creator? And how does that serve the needs of the business? For us, that need is really around education and inclusivity and access. So we have a creator in residence, Chanel Tyler. She's amazing. Follow her at Buy Me Chanel. And
Wow, what a great plug. Awesome.
she's an incredible, incredible human, and she is our inaugural creator in residence for this program. And what we do with her is we are in the kitchen with her every single week. We are in our broadcast channel, which also remind me to come back to broadcast channels, hidden tip there. But like within our broadcast channels, that is where we are talking to creators. She is answering questions. We do webinars, we do office hours. So creators get to drop into our Instagram broadcast channel office hours once a week to ask Chanel questions like the ones that we're talking about here and hear from someone who's actually like gone on the journey, who has started from scratch and built herself up to a really, really
Yeah,
well-known and
it's like a
successful.
mastermind, right?
Yeah. She offers a masterclass once a week. And then we obviously pair her with other creators as well, at different stages, different industries, different niches to get diverse points of view, similar to what we're doing here right now. And that fosters greater creator retention. So back to like my business goal, walking the walk, but also being able to show and give access to the journey. Is my audio cutting out?
It was cutting out. You can hear that on your end. It
Okay.
only cut out briefly twice, but most
Okay.
of nothing important was missed.
Okay. Great.
If
We're
any,
back.
if it's like cut for a while, I'll wave you down and let you know.
Okay.
So we're
Perfect.
okay.
Okay. Um, so and how that comes back to our business goals is that we find that creators on our network who participate in the webinars, in the office hours, in that creator to creator education are 2.5 times more valuable in terms of their earnings on our network than creators who don't. And so that I was like, as a brand and a marketer, that's where I'm like, the proof is in the pudding from my business, but I'm also doing what is right for the creator economy. And I
Is
think
that
that
like a membership fee to be a part of that, or is that just part of
absolutely
working
not.
with you guys? Yeah.
You don't even have to work with us. You
Oh,
can,
okay, cool.
like, I mean, we'd obviously love to have you on the network, but also if you're a creator just getting started, like, we'd love to have you join the network, but you can also hop into the office hours and sign up. Because we get a lot of people that are like, should I do it? Should I not do it? There's a real push pull of like, am I going to commit to this? And that's where we actually see a lot of Gen Zers just being like, I'm committing, I'm doing it. We do a lot of education around just that decision of like, what does commitment look like? What does getting started look like? We talk a lot about that in the creator in residence education. Um, yeah.
This next topic is one that I came up with, and I'm super excited to ask you about. Tell me about broadcast channels.
Oh, yeah. So broadcast channels are kind of like a hidden gem. And I'm going to say this because it's twofold. One, for creators, we find back to that like sales, non-sales conversation of like, how do I show up non-selly? Creators are going to find within their own network that there are people that are cult followers. Tell me the deals, tell me when they're happening, tell me your fashion finds, tell me, like, I want to be on the must buy list. I want to get it first. I want to know about it first. I want the link first. I want to hear about it from you first before anyone else.
So do
Broadcast.
they sell like a premium follower badge or something like that?
And they can within their broadcast channel. That's a subscription service like within Instagram that they offer and within TikTok. So
Okay.
creators can definitely activate that as an increased monetization, but it's also like where their most loyal shoppers are.
Hmm.
And so they often activate those broadcast channels as part of being like on the inside circle. Sometimes it's gated with, membership fees, sometimes it's not. From our side, when we talk about it's from the consumer side, consumers know this format. And I think that's one of the things that brands might have missed is that creators kind of discovered this hack, but it's still an opportunity for brands also from their channel to be thinking about how they're using creators in their own broadcast channels. Like, have they made that connection to invite creators into their broadcast channels? Because creators get to post in that channel, and that's really authentic. It gives your consumer access to a super credible person that's not a brand person with brand messaging. But that's really a hidden gem. 89% of subscribers have purchased through a channel in the past 6 months, meaning people that subscribe to a broadcast channel are purchasing. And we found that from our holiday research as definitely an area for creators and brands to be focused this season. And I think this is a trend that we're going to expect to see continue into 2026, just because this is about community, right? And the consumer chooses to be a part of a creator's community, right? And that is like kind of them putting their hand up and being like, hey, I'm really into you. You into me? What do you got to say? Can you share some stuff with me? Can you share your good tips and tricks here? I'm interested. And they're more likely to purchase. And consumers know that that's where they're also going to be getting the the latest, the earliest, that early access, which they want because things sell out.
Can you believe it's almost 2026?
I know. It's like weird the words coming out of my mouth as I was thinking about it. I was like,
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. And then I looked at it, I was like, August 20th. I mean, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. I have one more question for you before we let you get out of here. This has been awesome. So I figured I'd hit you with a challenging one.
oh, I love
Let's pretend I have 0 followers. I'm starting from day one. I want to be a creator. I want to make this happen. I want to do everything that you've talked about today. What are the first 3, 4, 5 actionable things I can do to really kind of set myself up for success, right? Obviously, I know it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but what are like some of the most important foundational steps up front that really give people an edge over those that don't do that?
Okay, I need to give one more plug, and this is to my social content manager, Sophia, who
There's
had
going to
this.
be so many affiliate links in the description of this video.
Um,
No, I'm just kidding.
true to
Go ahead.
brand, true to
No,
brand, true to brand,
yeah,
right? So Sophia had this idea that she pitched us, which was, I'm going to start an account from scratch, and
that's
I'm going to
cool.
take our audience on TikTok through this journey
Oh,
of me
yeah.
building an audience from scratch. And
I
she's
love
giving
that.
weekly updates on our
Oh,
collective.
shit. Well, we
Uh,
definitely should put that link in the bio. That sounds cool. I'm
it's
down.
at Collective Voice HQ, but like Sophia, you can see her and she's giving weekly updates and tips and tricks as like what she's doing each week. In the beginning, though, I'll summarize some of them for you, but like follow Sophia on her journey. It's incredible. I'm so
What is
excited.
it? What's the handle again?
At Collective Voice HQ on
Cool.
TikTok.
Got it.
Um, there's some hygiene things. One, you got to sign up for an affiliate platform, right? So you can start generating links. Highly recommend Collective Voice, but pick the one that's right for you. The next,
No, forget that. Collective voice or nothing, dude. Come
I
on.
know.
You got to go all the way.
So the next thing is really setting up the link in bio. Your link in bio is like your most important real estate when we talk about automation and being able to make money and curating your assortment there. You want to set that up. We have a tap to shop tool that allows you to pull together that digital storefront for people to easily be able to click your link in bio, shop everything that you've talked about, anything that you want to talk about, put all of that in there. Also, in your bio, you need to put your email address for outreach from any type of brand partners. I know it's early, but hey, put it out there. You never know. You need to put in, obviously, some SEO. What is also really important as you start to think about your content creation is your calendar. Find a calendar format that works for you. Sophia has great resources on how to set up a calendar if you're just getting started versus if you're more established. She does all of these in the educational series. But like,
Also known as like a cadence, right?
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to have that consistency that we talked about, right? And so that is where you have to hold yourself accountable. And a calendar really helps creators hold themselves accountable for, okay, I'm going to post 3 times this week. Okay, I'm carving out time for concepting. I'm carving out time for production. I'm carving out time for post production. Like really making sure that you're building yourself time to be able to be successful because the
See,
biggest
I was thinking like cadence, like posting. You're talking about like legit calendar because there's so much behind the scenes that you don't see.
totally like
Hmm.
are you going to shoot all of your stuff on one day and have a shoot day and then spend 2 days in post production, right? Like you have to think about your content calendar and your cadence, but then also the workflow behind it. This is where creators get tripped up, where they run out of time. So, it's like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to do 3 videos. Oh my God, I haven't done one. And then they kind of get this like, oh, maybe I'll just try again next week.
It's a full-time job.
It is,
Look at
right?
us coming full circle.
I
Amazing.
know. You such a
What are
math
you,
or a
what are
John.
your what are your thoughts on like buying followers? I know
No.
like you're not making any sales, but if you're trying to like come across as legit to gain more followers, I figured I knew your answer to that, but I just wanted everyone to hear it. That's all.
Hard no, because your engagement rate's going to tank. And
Hmm.
remember, your engagement rate is how you're going to drive that growth and trust with future brand partners. That is your most important metric over reach.
So do
And
you want to like create a viral video up front or just like try to create viral videos? I feel like in my head it's like I need to get people on my page before I can do anything, right? I need to get the eyeballs. So
Do it.
how do you cover that? Like, how do you get over that initial hump?
I always say, don't try to go viral. If you try to go viral, you're not going to go viral. Like, if you
See,
try.
my band recorded one of the songs from Mario Kart 64, and we were not trying to go viral, but we did. So there you go.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Here's my other question. Did you have a plan for what happened if you did go viral?
Oh, hell no. We got hit up by all these websites like break.com or something, and they're like, we're gonna post to all these things and give you like, a percentage of it. I don't know. I think we got like, a couple $5 checks or something. But yeah, we had no plan. I mean, it was like, we got like 1 million views overnight. We're like, what the hell's going on? We were just trying to be funny.
Well, and that's where I would say, like, having some of those foundations in place, like calendaring, is like, if you start to go viral, automatically, like, you need to push more content. Like, do you have
Right.
a plan for that? Like,
Right. It's like, oh shit, now what? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what brands and creators are like. Everyone's like, I want to go viral. I want to hit that lightning in a bottle. And the first question I ask them is, are you prepared for what happens next? And they're like, what? I thought that was the end game. I'm like, no, that is the beginning.
Right. That's when it just starts. Yeah.
Yeah. Then what is your content strategy as you see that virality starting to take off? What is your extension? What are you creating? How quickly are you creating? Then, because you have all those eyeballs coming, what are you pushing, from your brand values? Are you doing a refreshed, like, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and pinning it to the top? Like, do you have some of those foundations in place? Is your link in bio set up? Like, do you have your tap to shop set up? Do you have partnership details in your, like, those are the things that are hygiene that you need to be ready for. Um, but
Have you dealt with creators that have gone viral and were not prepared?
oh, of course.
And
And
what are you like, now, get this out now? Like, I'm sure it's a window, right? It's a
the
window that you
small
don't want to miss.
window.
Yeah.
And that comes back to, I think, the on the creator side, it's the agility of, what else do you have going on in your life that you can drop to start
hmm
creating, right?
hmm
On
First
the
thing you drop is your family, right? Second thing you drop,
quick
then you
post,
drop your day job. Second, right? Yeah.
highly recommend the throw the money at the problem situation to put
Yeah.
your calendar. But I think on the brand side, let's say you're working with a creator and they go viral, is your brand set up
Mm.
to start pushing brand assets? Are you quickly set up within the agility to offer them a flat fee partnership, right?
hmm
If you were in a flat fee partnership, can your legal team move really fast on a quick contract extension? Like, these are things that brands typically struggle with based on size and layers and matrix, that they need to be able to move quickly on. So in many cases, it comes back to some of the setup and the contracting. Like, if a creator is a really great fit for you, do you want to, put a master service agreement in place and then put different scopes of work underneath, right? To be able to have some agility to change content deliverables or frequency. These are things just to start thinking about. And then on the creator side, obviously, when you hit the lightning in a bottle, you also get to ask for more money.
Yeah, speaking of lightning in a bottle, make sure you check out Broccoli Samurai Mario Kart on YouTube. All right, we could use those
Get
views.
this back to a trending sound. Let's add it to all of our TikTok videos.
Oh, hell yeah, let's make that happen. Look at us. We talked for an hour, Claire.
Oh my God, it flew by. It felt like 10 minutes.
How impressive. What a great episode. Anything you want to leave our audience with in terms of collective voice, resources they should know about, or where they can find you or the company in the future?
You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find the company on LinkedIn. But what I would say is your best resource for everything is hit up our TikTok, hit up our Instagram at Collective Voice HQ. So much good stuff there. Give my girl Sophia some views and take her tips and tricks to heart. If you're a creator, she knows what she's talking about, and she's there to guide you every step of the way. And that's kind of how we operate at Collective Voice. We're creator first. We're, obsessed with, authenticity and creating win-win campaigns between brands and creators.
Well, for myself, Josh from OfferVault, and our new friend of the pod, Clair Sidman, Vice President of Marketing at Collective Voice. Let's make that paper. Let's make that dough. This was the Affiliate Marketing Show. We will see you next time.